Most of us spend decades preparing financially for our retirement, but no one is being fully direct and honest about what happens next when we wake up that next day after the retirement party and it's over. The career is over. And now what? I'm Sandy Adams, and this channel is Happy Trails Retirement. We're running this year from rural Pennsylvania, so you can see behind me it's a beautiful day. But let's go over and let's talk about the secrets that no one is talking about, not my parents, not the old people that I used to look up to for advice. They didn't talk about this. And so let's dig a little deeper into those four things. The first is, how do we redefine who we are when we are not defined by that career opportunity? We've lost work. We've lost our careers. And now, who are we? Well, in my case, I had a very successful accounting practice, and it was rocking and rolling. And every day there's emails and there's questions and deadlines and all the things that really keep you engaged and feeling meaningful and purpose. In fact, people wanted to find my advice and they wanted to ask questions, and I had answers. Well, that phone isn't ringing anymore. The email box is empty. And a lot of those acquaintances that were business associates, hey, listen, they just went on and lived their life, and now I am too. I might see them in the grocery stores and I might see them out and about, but they're not part of my inner circle, my inner social circle. And so when that retirement day came, like you, I also had to look around and say, now, I have a busy brain. What am I going to do with that brain? How am I going to keep myself busy? And who am I if I'm not Sandy the accountant, Sandy the business owner, Sandy the one that people look to solve their problems and their troubles? Well, this busy brain has come up with a few ideas, and I'd like to share them with you. My ideas and my plan may be different than yours, but let's just walk through a few things together, because this world is wide open and this is an exciting new chapter, and it's time for us all to really embrace that and recognize that we're not out of runway. We still have some important years left, and let's make the most of those. So every day we wake up and I have that morning cup of coffee. In fact, I'm here with my refreshment. I have that morning cup of coffee, and my routine looks like I'm going to sit down, have a little cup of coffee. My husband, we're going to have a little chit chat. I might check the headline news, and I'm going to start making out my daily to-do list. Because here at Pennywood, we have dogs, horses, goats, chickens. We have some repair and maintenance that is always needing to be done. So there's always that daily ritual that sets the tone. And when I wake up, I try to wake up at a regular time. I try to wake up doing some of those routine rituals that are actually going to stage and give me some structure for, I don't know if you can hear, that's Larry Bird. That's our rooster in the background. But these are the things that are going to give me structure. So when you are looking at what are you going to do with your everyday, not just the vacation or not just going to the beach or not just really those special events that we look for, but the day in and the day out, what's the quality look like? And I hope that it's more than just waking up and doing the dishes and running the vacuum cleaner or paying the bills. Let's figure out some exciting things to do, things that feel that we have purpose and give us the connection. So even though we may not have that group of coworkers, we might not have the customers or the clients, and we might not have all of that connection, we really need to stay involved in some way with the community. And some people will find that through church. Some people are going to find that with strengthening the connections you have with your neighbors and family. Many of us have grandchildren, and that's where we find that we're going to be busy taking care of the grandchildren. And some of us don't have that. In my case, yes, I have grandchildren. They're a couple hours away, and I do get to spend quality time with them. But for me, one of the choices that I decided to do is to strip away that persona of Sandy the accountant, and I wanted to try out a couple new things. In my case, I felt that, yes, I like to have my downtime. Yes, I like to do things with my family and with my husband and so on, but I also felt that I needed the structure of a part-time job. And so for me, I took a little part-time job at one of our local feed mills, And Sandy, the accountant, who used to really charge pretty good for my hourly rate, is now making very small hourly wages, close to minimum wage. But I'm there helping at the cash register, and I'm meeting and greeting and staying connected with the regulars that are people that are coming in. And it really makes me feel that I have purpose and structure to be able to just get up, put the makeup on, dress right, and get into showtime and have that little part-time job. Well, that was one way that I did it. You may be finding other ways that you're keeping yourself active and in the mix. And again, it might be volunteer jobs. It might be, through your church. I'm going to let you really expand on that for yourself. This is just a quick brief through on that. So once we have the structure, the routines, there's a little bit more then, because we are going to have those quieter, slower moments. And that's where we really then need to start looking and saying, what did I miss during my busy years? And they call it stop and smell the roses. Well, yeah, there's something to stopping and smelling the roses. I can actually spend a little time with my dogs. I'm throwing the ball and they're coming over, and I can see their expressions and their moods in a different way that when I was busy, I really was too busy sometimes and I missed those things. And I'm also able to go out and do some horseback riding. Well, not everybody has a horse, and not everybody has chickens, and not everybody has dogs, but you have something. You either have something that that, listen, when was there time to do a 500 or 1,000 piece crossword, a jigsaw puzzle? When was there time for that in the past? When was there time for you to actually do simple repairs around the house, or did we have to write a check and delegate all of that or throw it away? There's little things. When was the last time you actually did a little decluttering around the house? Little projects that actually make the quality of our lives better. I think there's many of those things that let's look deeper into the moments. Wake up, look outside, be grateful for what you have, smell the roses. And I really couldn't focus on these four critical things without mentioning our health. Because at retirement age, we know, hey, listen, I wouldn't call us old dogs, but listen, as we get older, there's going to be some health challenges. It's basically inevitable. And so what are we doing that we can help to make these years strong and healthy? And that's going to be where we're going to look to our diet and our routines and exercises. For me, there's horseback riding. But guess what? My horseback rides are a little more gentle. I'm not out there doing the reckless, crazy things I did when I was a teenager. I might go out and just take a walk on the horse. It's going to tighten some muscles. It's going to make me feel better, and I'm going to get the sunshine doing it. You can bike ride. You can walk. You can go to a local gym. Around here, we call it Silver Sneakers. There's a program through Medicare that some of us retired people on Social Security are eligible for gym memberships at reduced and discounted rates. I don't know what that is for you, but all of us need to look to our health. And we also should be studying and really dialing in on those things that keep us not just physically strong, but mentally strong. Exercise our brain, challenge our brain, and then eat the nutritious foods or take the right vitamins, whatever it needs for you to make sure that you are taking good care of yourself. Because when you wake up and you don't feel good and you're tired and fatigued and you just don't have the energy, this day then is not going to go the same. So I think it's important, very important, for us to look at our eating habits and our exercising routines to make sure that we focus on keeping ourselves healthy. In my case, one of the things that I did, and of course I've always loved to have a couple of drinks with friends. It's just been part of my life and the social way we worked. But 3 years ago, I came home one day and I said, that's the last drink I'm ever going to have. And I stopped drinking. So when I go out, I can still have that some drink that's going to hopefully be a little nutritious and good for me, but I'm not drinking alcohol anymore. because I know that that's not good for my brain and my body, and I want these remaining years to be healthy. Some other things that I focused on is reducing and limiting the sugar intake, because I read that there's many side effects from sugar overload. Diabetes is a big issue for people in our age, and I'm hearing from my friends on a regular basis that they're either pre-diabetic or have already crossed over into that challenge. So take good care of yourself. And I think that's one of the critical things that we don't talk about enough when or focus on enough when we are looking forward to those years of retirement. Well, I've got a puppy here that's looking for me to throw the ball, so we're going to get to him in just a minute. So to wrap this up, let's talk about this. This is the end of a career, a way of defining ourselves when we walk through that door of retirement. And now we are looking at a new way to define ourselves. So from my business owner years, my accountant years, here I am in retirement years, and I love it. I love it. And that doesn't mean that every day is easy and every day we don't have some challenges. But just to wrap this up, we have a couple of things that I think we can look forward to, that if we just bundle and work on simple things, and these 4 simple things, let's look at redefining ourselves. We are no longer going to define ourselves by a career. We are no longer going to define ourselves by a job title. We're going to define ourselves by our name. I'm Sandy Adams, and this is who I am. And I may be surprising to some of you who thought that I was somebody else, because now I'm rediscovering some new things about myself, and I'm presenting them to the world. So, Sandy Adams, and who are you? You do the same thing. Reinvent yourself. Really discover who you are. And what do you stand for? And what do you like to do? We also can do this in a way of incremental, daily structure. We don't have to change the world in one day, or we don't have to change ourselves in one day. We do it in a methodical way, one day at a time, through structured, quality living. We're going to stay connected with our social friends. That's important in some way, whether it's a little part-time job, whether it's through church or volunteer work, or really just going to this social clubs, volunteer. I don't know, but you have to find a way to stay connected with family and friends in a social way that actually fuels and re-energizes you. And of course, the last is that we have to mind our health. Every day, no matter what we do and no matter where we're going, if we're not taking care of yourself, if I'm not taking care of myself, what good am I to everybody else? And what good am I to myself? And I feel actually so strongly about this that it's a betrayal to not take care of yourself. It's so important, because there's other people still in our lives that need us and count on us. Yes, folks. And so in closing, let's not look at this as the final chapter. Let's look at this as the next adventure and make it great. So please, oh my word, puppy, oh my word. Well, we're going to take a minute. I'll show you my puppy here. This is little Joe, and he's wants me to throw the ball. So hold on a second. He's got the ball. Let's just dip it. There he goes. Okay. I'm fighting a little bit of a cough here, so please excuse me for that. But anyway, thank you very much for joining me here today in this discussion. I will be coming back with many more ideas and adventures in this life of mine, and I'd like you to share it with me. This is Happy Trails Retirement. I'm Sandy Adams, and we have a big life ahead of us. Let's share it together. Thank you for joining me, and I love you. I love you. It might sound corny, but I think that love and gratitude are the core. And thank you for joining me. Thank you.